Hello everyone, please let me know that you can hear me and see me. I am Robin Shaw. I am the teacher for today's writing lab, and I'm just waiting. Nobody is making a comment. Okay, Lali, thank you. There's a little bit of delay. We're having technical difficulties. I think it's a YouTube problem. I had problems yesterday, and I think we're ready to go today. No problem. All right, hi guys. I didn't expect to be doing a live stream today, but I guess I am because a lot of people did the homework from the previous writing lab, and this is writing lab 10, and I have five samples paragraphs to check today, and we'll get through them. I did not choose. I think there was 10 sample writings or 10 homework samples. I don't know what to call it. 10 people did their homework. I cannot do all 10 in one live stream, so I chose 5, and the first 5 I chose were the channel members. So if you're a channel member, I chose you, excuse me, for the live stream. Anyway, we'll just wait a couple minutes for more people to come. I'm going to check the chat. And Layla's here. Kumar, hello. Lali, I'm checking your writing tonight. And Gertrudis, I'm checking her writing, but she'll watch it later. San Ang, hello from Myanmar. Welcome. Bad Liar, welcome. Alyssa's here. Alyssa, welcome to the live stream. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. And I'm wearing a black shirt and a black hat. And I'm just on the screen, nothing special. Eunice Taleb, hello. And I'm checking. Umida, Umida's here. Michelle, hello. Saddam, Azam, Chima, Apita, and Sherry Gibson's here. Dwi Prakar, Sifa, Yulina, Mohammed. All right. I'm just reading names. Anyway, if I didn't read your name, I'm seeing your names. I'm looking down here. Daniel, I didn't do your writing today. Sorry. All right. Whoa. There's so many people. All right. Welcome, everyone. We're going to start the writing lab. Writing lab 10. Of course, we're here with Teddy. I put on the channel. I put a poll to find out Teddy's new name, and right now the most popular name, with 50% of the people choosing Little Robin. So we'll wait a few more days for people to answer the poll of this channel, but Little Robin is winning. So I'll announce the name next week of the teddy. Yeah, Alyssa, I'm holding up my teddy bear, and I'll put the teddy bear down. And Jolly, hello. All right, writing lab 10. Let's take a look. So again, with the writing lab, I take some sample paragraphs from students. Today is the members, and I fix them a little bit. I do not make them perfect. All right, I just improve them a little bit. All right, guys. So I My goal is not to spend 1 hour going through the grammar and fixing every little detail of a paragraph. I just try to give a quick fix, some suggestions, and then we move on to the next paragraph. So you might notice that I skip over some mistakes and errors. Don't worry about that. You can talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about every mistake in the paragraphs. And again, today's writers: Michelle, Layla, Lali, Gertrudis, and Win. I don't see Win here. Maybe she usually comes late. Good that she's last. And writing sample 1 with Michelle. Let's take a look. This is what it's going to look like, but let's go sentence by sentence. Michelle starts off, I remember one day my brother and I went to the swimming pool. All right. He says, I remember one day my brother and I went to the swimming pool. And I remember one day. So I was thinking, well, he's probably talking about his younger days, because Michelle is still a young person, but he is older than me, and I guess he's talking about his younger days here. So he says, I remember one day my brother and I went to the swimming pool. And I like to put time expressions in the beginning, so I thought, well, I'm going to switch that to one day. I remember my brother and I went to the swimming pool. And then I thought maybe one day wasn't capturing that he's telling some story from a long time ago. So maybe I will add one day when I was a child, okay, or when I was a teenager, or when I was young, something like that, so we know that it was a long time ago when he was not an adult. I'm guessing. So a long time ago, one day when I was a child, I remember going, and even this could be fixed up a little better, but let's move on. So he's talking about his brother. He was rash. Now I put anything in green. I like green. Green means you're trying out some vocabulary or idioms or something. So he's using the word rash. I liked it. He used it to describe his brother. And let's go to Oxford's dictionary, and I'll type it in the comments. I guess I could have prepared this earlier. Rash has an adjective. It is also a noun, but we want to use it as an adjective. And I'm going to just put it here. That's from the Oxford Learner's Dictionary. Doing something that may not be sensible without first thinking about the possible results. All right, so Michelle's saying his brother usually just does stuff without thinking, just suddenly, spontaneously do stuff without thinking. So that's a word he used to describe his brother, rash, and I like it. It's not so common in students' writings, so I made it green. And what is he go on? Michelle goes on, and train me after him to do the same things. A little bit awkward. I understand it, but it is a little awkward. So I moved it a little bit. So I changed that. He was rash and trained me to always follow his lead. So follow his lead. Whatever the brother does, Michelle will follow. He will also do it. So follow his lead. He's leading. Follow his lead. There's many ways you can express that. I just chose this for quick understanding. All right. There was a diving board. When you're at the swimming pool, they go up and they're going to dive off the diving board. There was a diving board, and we went up at the top. And now I'm going to ask you guys to fix it. There was a diving board, and we went up at the top. I want to change at. What's a better word than at? While you guys are going to type in a better word than at, I'm going to take my break and have a little bit of cola. You want some, Teddy? No? Okay. And Lali. On the top. We went up on the top. Win. Oh, Win's here. Hello, Win. I'm doing your writing later, Win. Don't go away. No, I don't like on. Let's get a better word. In the top. No. I don't like on. I don't like in. And Elpida, thank you. And Daniel, thank you. They went up to the top, to the top of the diving board, or maybe they have to climb a ladder to the top, up to the top. So they're on the diving board, 10 meters down. There was water. And he jumped the first and waited my turn. All right, something seems a little awkward here. He jumped the first and waited my turn. Well, right away we got to cut out the. Cut that out. So he jumped first and waited my turn. And I don't know. I just felt a little more comfortable. He jumped first and then waited my turn. So first he jumped and then he waited my turn or for my turn, something like that. Yeah, you would probably say for my turn, but I'm not going to worry about that. And Layla, at first he jumped. Yeah, I like time expressions at the beginning, but if people don't want to use it at the beginning, I'm not going to force them. Is we went up to the top too redundant? Yeah, it could be, but we're not making it perfect. Just that can be on your live stream. I was so afraid, but I couldn't disappoint him. All right, so again, these are less than 100 words, so I think a lot of students are taking out some sentences, so we have to guess what is happening. I was so afraid, but I couldn't disappoint him. So the brother jumped, waiting for him, Michel, to jump. He's so afraid, so scared. He didn't want to disappoint his brother. After a long time to hesitate, I overcame my fear and I threw myself into the void. All right. It's getting interesting. Well, after a long time to hesitate, I might just change that to after a long hesitation, or something simpler. I overcame my fear and I threw myself into the void. The void, it just means he's throwing himself into the water, but the void, when we say the void, that means a place that is scary and dark. So he's just jumping into what he feels is a scary situation, unknown situation, which he's going to call the void. I'm not going to go into that too much. It was a happy day. All right. So he just told a simple story about when he was a child. I think it was when he was a child, going to the swimming pool and jumping in the water. There's a few recommendations. It's not perfect yet. A few sentences are still awkward, but it's good enough. Let's move on. Writing sample 2, which was Layla. This is Layla's story. One day, Time expression. Good. Same as Michelle. One day, my classmate and I went to check exam result of one of subjects. A little bit awkward, but I understand. You know, it's with writing, there are small errors and there are critical errors. A critical error is when I don't understand. Now, if you have a little awkward grammar and I understand, that is a small error. So these are small errors, not critical errors. One day, my classmate and I went to check exam result of one of the subjects. I'm going to simplify this, and I'm going to stick in an exam result to show just one exam. One of the subjects, I'll just cut that out. I went to check an exam result. So we can guess it's a subject or something. It's not important to the story, just one exam result. Yeah, I'm just doing a one way to fix these. There are many ways to fix these sentences. And if you talk to another native speaker, they'll have their own way to fix these sentences. But I usually like to simplify sentences for my students learning English. My close friend wasn't with us. Okay, seems okay. We had to tell her about her score. All right, so they went to check the exam score. My close friend wasn't with us. We had to tell her about her score. So they're going to check her score and go tell her. And I'm just checking the chat. One of the subjects, exams result. Check the exams result. An exams result. An exam. Yeah. Check score of an exam. I went to check. We'll just leave it as a title, an exam result. When we got there, we detected we passed the test, but she didn't pass. Detected. That word is not the correct word we should use there, so I'm going to ask you guys, what's a better way to express detected? When we got there, we detected we passed the test, but she didn't pass. So, give me another word. And I like simple. We checked score of an exam, or no. We discovered we passed the test. Exposed, no. We found we passed the test. I like that. All right, so I just put it. We saw that we passed the test, but she didn't pass. We found that we passed the test, but she didn't pass. Sounds good. We scrupled about how to tell her about the results. And I am not familiar with scrupled as a verb. Maybe Miss Gibson can help me with scrupled. Have you heard scruple? I know scruples as a noun, but as a verb, it's in the dictionary, but I've never heard it as a verb. So we have another teacher here. Have you heard scrupled as a verb? But I changed it. Because I wasn't familiar with scrupled. I might be wrong, but I changed it. Hey, Franna, you had some writing, but sorry I didn't check it today. Lolly, we were afraid of telling her the result. Again, I just put in a simple word. We discussed, you could say we debated. A lot of you just agreed with me. We discussed how to tell her about her result. All right. We worried about her feelings. So, the nice people. Ultimately, we settled to lie to her at first. All right, the sentence is a little awkward, but I love the word ultimately. And what does, let's go to Oxford and let's put the, there we go. Ultimately, in the end, finally. So ultimately, their decision, they discussed it, and this is what they decided to do. Ultimately, we settled to lie to her at first. I might change settled to decided. We decided to lie, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because ultimately is good. Then we would tell her indirectly. All right, so they're going to lie to her at first, and then they're going to tell her indirectly later, probably. And in fact, we did it. So that was their plan. Lie and then tell indirectly later, and then they did it. After a few days ago, she exposed it. All right, this is a big problem. What's wrong here, guys? You tell me in the chat. After a few days ago. I'm taking my break. What's wrong after a few days ago? Oh, hey, Daniel. Good to see you. You're a new member. Lolly. After a while, let's keep the same expression after. And Layla, a few days ago, no. Ago is wrong. Kanji, yeah. I like the way you think. So we have two expressions, after a few days or a few days ago. Those are two separate time expressions, after a few days or a few days ago. Layla put that into one big expression. That is incorrect, but that's okay. I understand the mistake. So I'm just going to cut ago. I'm just going to cut that. After a few days. She exposed it. She exposed it. All right. Now, I understand. After a few days, she exposed it. She came to know about the knowledge, but the grammar is a little bit awkward. So I'm just going to fix it up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of the word exposed. And this is maybe a little bit better. After a few days, she found out the truth, which is a good expression. She found out the truth. When people find out the truth. Charanjit Barman, hello. Then she blamed me so much. All right. She didn't talk to me for a few weeks. Big trouble. I cried and regretted for that. I'm going to change for that and regretted my actions maybe, or my action. My actions. That's what you regret. Excuse me, that cola. Eventually, I intended to never lie. All right. I intended doesn't seem like the right word. Maybe you promise. You made a promise to never lie. Robin, I was afraid my writing would be over 100 words. I think everyone is afraid their writing will be over 100 words. Uh, I have to keep the 100 word limit. So you guys need to tell simpler stories. So I'm going to change eventually to at that time. I promise to never lie again. All right. So that might fit the story. You regretted your action at that time. This is what happened, and at that time, you promise never to lie again. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, Layla, but that's a suggestion to fix that sentence. Oh, okay. That's writing 3. I'll just read that. One day, my classmate and I went to check an exam result. My close friend wasn't with us. We had to tell her about her score. When we got there, we saw that we passed the test, but she didn't pass. We discussed how to tell her about her result. We were worried about her feelings. Ultimately, we settled to lie to her at first. Then we would tell her indirectly. In fact, we did it. After a few days, she found out the truth. Then she blamed me so much. She didn't talk to me for a few weeks. I cried and regretted my actions. At the time, I promised to never lie again. All right. Good job, Layla. Going to sample 3. And that was, I forgot. Lali. Lali. And Lali. All right. This is what it's going to look like. She introduces it. Another guess what story. Diana. Oh, wait. I guess I should go back. You guys have questions. What about decided? Oh, I decided to never lie again. Yeah, that's great. I decided to never lie again. That works very well. I swear. And Alyssa, and I'm back. I didn't know you were gone, Alyssa. I've been talking to you for 20 minutes. All right, let's get on to Lali. Another guess what story. One day I got the wind that Joe had bought a diamond ring. You see got wind in green. I like it. But we're gonna cut that the. One day I got wind that Joe had bought a diamond ring. So what is got wind? Got wind is an idiom. It means kind of I heard. I secretly heard, something like that. So Joe didn't tell her that he bought a ring, but she got wind, she heard from another source, another person. So that's good, got wind. When he invited me for dinner, I arrived dressed to kill at the restaurant. Another idiom, dressed to kill means she looks very nice. She looks great. So we use dressed to kill to an idiom to mean someone looks really, really, really great. So interesting story here. So she heard Joe had bought a diamond ring, and then Joe invited her to dinner, He has a diamond ring. I'm gonna dress to kill. Exciting, Teddy. Yeah, Teddy's excited. What's happening? Juicy gossip. Yeah, maybe she heard the juicy gossip. Joe bought a diamond ring. My heart was beating wildly, and I was full of hope. So she wants, why do men buy diamond rings? Maybe to ask her, will you marry me? She's full of hope. Maybe Joe's going to give me the ring and propose. After that romantic candlelit dinner, nothing I had imagined happened. So they had a romantic candlelit. So there's a dinner with candles. Very romantic. But nothing she imagined. So she imagined Joe asking for marriage. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. What a misunderstanding. All right. This ring wasn't for me. So Joe got the diamond ring. Wasn't for her. She had hope. Didn't happen. Sometime later, I attended Joe's wedding. And guess what? He was marrying my best friend, Patty. So, Lali, this is a true story. Oh, by the way, I am still single. So this is Lali's true story of her life. Her friend Joe that she wanted to marry actually married her friend Patty. So that's too bad, Lali. And now you're still single. Let's see. Perfect writing. Well, it's good enough. There are always things to fix, but as it is now, it's a good story. Nobody's perfect, not even me. So Lali, you have to. Okay, I already guessed. True story. I'll read it one more time. Another guess what story. One day I got wind that Joe had bought a diamond ring. When he invited me for dinner, I arrived dressed to kill at the restaurant. My heart was beating wildly and I was full of hope. After that romantic candlelit dinner, nothing I had imagined happened. What a misunderstanding. This ring wasn't for me. Sometime later, I attended Joe's wedding, and guess what? He was marrying my best friend, Patty. Oh, by the way, I am still single. Thank you, Lali. All right, we're going to move on to Gertrudis, which she was here earlier, but she left, but she'll be back. I hope. You better be back. You better tell me that you watched this. And she told a story before about being homeless for a short time. So she decided to continue her story about being homeless. So in the previous Writer's Lab, we looked at her homeless story where she didn't have money, she didn't have a scholarship, family didn't support her, so she had to sleep on a sofa for a few weeks. And she decided to continue her story. So let's get into it. Oh, the title here... Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but her title, Being Homeless, My Story Part 2, uses a lot of periods, 3 periods in a title, we don't want to use a period. All right, we don't want that period. So I'm gonna rewrite this without the periods, something like that. Being homeless, I used a colon. My story part 2. So don't use periods in titles. All right, and let's continue with her story. I'm just moving my chat. What are you guys doing in the chat? What are you students doing? Let's go bar hopping, Lali. Alyssa, how old are you? Hey, Korean with Grace is here. All right, Gertrudis, every single day after my lunch, I used to look through information on a bulletin board at the hospital's cafeteria. Can you guys see what's wrong with this sentence? Every single day after my lunchtime, I used to look through information on a bulletin board at the hospital's cafeteria. What's wrong with this sentence? And I'm going to give you a big hint. Alyssa, you cannot see what's wrong with this sentence. You cannot hear what's wrong with this sentence. What is wrong with this sentence, guys? I'm going to take a break. Well, you tell me. What's wrong with this sentence? Big mistake here. Every day? No, that's okay. Every single day. That's a way to express every day. Every single day. So that's a good expression. Yeah. Nafise, the bulletin board. Spelling mistake, guys. Spelling. Remember, guys, if I am spending, 20 to 30 minutes to check your writing, prepare your writing, you can please spend 1 minute to check your spelling. It is rude to send your teacher writing that has spelling mistakes, so please don't do that. So we got to fix that. Bulletin board. Fixed. All right, and then the sentence is good enough. One day my heart beat pretty strong. Another heartbeat. Lolly lolly, heartbeat wildly. Her heartbeat pretty strong. An honorable Catalan family needs a caregiver for night shift and weekends. All right, so she's looking at the bulletin board. She sees this very important family needs and her story is past tense, so we're going to change that. Needed a caregiver for night shift, and I'm just going to, that night shift should be plural, night shifts and weekends. All right. She says it is perfect. So she's looking for this job. This Catalan, I don't know how to pronounce that, Catalan family needed a caregiver for night shifts and weekends. So a caregiver, someone to take care of someone. It is perfect, I said. So if you said that, let's use quotation. It is perfect, I said. I didn't hesitate. Another spelling mistake. Blah, blah, blah. 2 spelling mistakes. Teacher is disappointed. Teddy, did you know she sent me writing with 2 spelling mistakes? What do you think of that? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Teddy agrees with me. I didn't hesitate. All right, by the time I called it a day, I'd made a phone call. All right, so she's using an idiom here. I call it a day. Call it a day means finish work. When you call it a day, that means you finish work. So she saw the bulletin board looking for a job. By the end of the day, she had already called about that job. Green with Grace, what's the teddy bear's name? We're still voting on the website. It should be, most people are voting Little Robin. Little Robin. Yes, Layla, Teddy always agrees with me. My life changed. I didn't have days off for a long time. All right, what you guys tell me what's wrong here? I didn't have days off for a long time. What's wrong with that sentence? I didn't have days off for a long time. Sebastian, hello. I didn't have days off for a long time. There's a simple mistake here. Thank you, Lali. We need an a for a long time. For a long time. Yeah, Layla, for a long time. On the other hand, this year I was the best resident. So she's learning to be a doctor. That's called a resident, the doctor in training. And she used, on the other hand, that's the wrong expression. And I think you're talking about the past. You should also say, also that year, I was the best resident. So she was homeless, but she found a job, and she was also the best resident that year. So last couple weeks ago, her first homeless story, very sad, but starting to get better. Part 2 is better. 5 years later, my training was over and the hospital's administration hired me. I worked there for 25 years. I don't know how old you are Gertrudis, but you have a long career. I've only been an English teacher 20 years, and I'm 45. Now I'm living in my country. I work for a nonprofit organization in blindness prevention by glaucoma. All right, that sentence is a little awkward, but I'm going to leave it like that. So Gertrudis, thank you for your story, and it's a continuation of the previous story, and it's good to see that you got a lot of success. All right, we're going to move on. Or I guess I'll read it one last time. Being homeless, my story part 2. Every single day after my lunch, I used to look through information on a bulletin board at the hospital's cafeteria. One day, my heart beat pretty strong. An honorable Catalan family needed a caregiver for night shifts and weekends. It is perfect, I said. I didn't hesitate. By the time I called it a day, I'd made a phone call. My life changed. I didn't have days off for a long time. Also that year, I was the best resident. 5 years later, my training was over and the hospital's administration hired me. I worked there for 25 years. Now I'm living in my country. I work for a nonprofit organization in blindness. That's a little awkward. I work for a nonprofit organization. Maybe I'd break up that into 2 sentences. I work for a nonprofit organization. We try to prevent blindness caused by glaucoma. That might be a better way. We try to prevent blindness caused by glaucoma. And glaucoma is the eye problem, guys. You can check that later. Avrana, hats off for the inspirational story. Hats off, yes. So thank you, Gertrudis. And now we're going to go on to writing sample 5, which is Win. Win was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. If you're still here, say hello, Win. This is what it looks like. And she starts off spending my time with my stepfather the whole week. I wasn't sure if this was a title or a sentence. Now, there's no period, so it might be a title. So I wasn't sure. Lali. I love Gertrudis' life. Yeah, I think she's got stories to tell. My 92 years old stepfather lives with my aunt's family. What's wrong with this sentence, guys? I'll give you a moment. What's wrong here? Luis Gonzalez. So much working. 25 years, yes. Well, Michelle worked a long time too. My 92 years old stepfather lives with my aunt's family. What's wrong with this? Lali's on the right track. No, we're not going to say So 92 years old, we're going to get rid of that S. It's a 92-year-old. So it's a little bit advanced. These hyphens, this is making it into an adjective, one adjective, and we express it as a 92-year-old. My 92-year-old. That's your adjective. You know, if you're using a normal sentence, or another way to express it is just say, she is 92 years old. She is 90, like A. Francis says here. She's 92 years old, but if you want to use it as an adjective before, my 92-year-old my step grandfather lives with my aunt's family. Excuse me. 4 days ago, I saw he was lying on the floor when I went into his room. Oh, Win's here. I see it. All right, so, yeah, let's catch up. 92-year-old step-grandfather. So, four days ago, I saw he was lying on the floor when I went into his room. I was anxious and had tears in my eyes. Immediately, I took him to the hospital. All right, something's wrong. He's lying on the floor. He had a stroke, even though he didn't pass away. All right, so a stroke, if you guys don't know, let's go to Oxford, and I'll write the definition. And here's the definition. A sudden serious illness when the blood vessel in the brain bursts or is blocked, which can cause death or the loss of the ability to move or speak clearly. So the brain blood vessel causes a stroke. So he had a stroke. 92 years old. He had a stroke even though he didn't pass away. All right, so sentence is a little awkward, and I'm going to break it up into two sentences. He had a stroke. Very simply, just say he had a stroke. And then let's say something like, luckily or fortunately, he didn't pass away. During taking care of him at the hospital, I feel empathy for his loneliness. What do you guys think? During taking care of him, I'm going to say, I'm going to change that during. What am I going to change that during to? What do you guys think? I'm going to change that during. Thank you, Daniel. When? Wow. Yeah. Wow. While taking care of him at the hospital, I feel? We got to change that. What do we change feel? Yeah, a lot of you got, or Akbarsha, when I was taking care of him. While is the best. And Lali, quick fingers. Yeah, I felt empathy for his loneliness. I think we should be patient and give our spare time to elderly people. Looks good. After leaving the hospital, I will take good care of him at my home. All right. So, Win, this is confusing. You're telling the story about your step grandfather having the stroke, didn't pass away. You took care of him at the hospital, and then he came out of, after leaving the hospital, you say, I will, a future tense, I will take care of him. And I'm not sure why we're using future tense, because I think after leaving the hospital, is he still in the hospital now? So, Win, that's a very important question. Is he still in the hospital now? Or did he come out of the hospital? Maybe Wayne is busy. Because it happened. Okay, now he is still. Thank you, Win. So, let me check. All right. Then it's finished. I'll read it out. Spending my time with my stepfather the whole week. My 92-year-old stepfather lives with my aunt's family. 4 days ago, I saw he was lying on the floor. When I went to his room, I was anxious and had tears in my eyes. Immediately, I took him to the hospital. He had a stroke. Luckily, he didn't pass away. While taking care of him at the hospital, I felt empathy for his loneliness. I think we should be patient and give our spare time to elderly people. After leaving the hospital, I will take good care of him at my home. All right, sounds good. It's a little bit better. We fixed up a few things. All right, and that's the end. How long was that? 54 minutes. All right, guys. So Write a paragraph in the comment section of this video. I will edit it in a future video. If you are a channel member, I choose you first. If I have extra room, I will add another person onto the writing lab, but I will only do 5 writing labs or 5 sample paragraphs a week, and the five should be the first 5 will be channel members. If there's no channel members that do a writing sample, then I'll just use any 5. All right, so because already this was a little more popular than I expected. You know, when 10 people are writing sample paragraphs, I want to help everyone, but I just don't have the time. And Daniel, I'll have to move your writing to maybe tomorrow, Daniel. I'll think about it. Daniel, you have time tomorrow? Daniel Vishit-Bandha. Michelle, thank you. And yeah, guys, help me out. Channel membership is cheap. It is cheap. In the future, it will be more expensive. It is cheap now. Just show some support. I do a lot of work for you guys in the YouTube and WhatsApp. My mind is starting to go. So Daniel, I might do writing for you tomorrow. Daniel, I can't promise. I gotta see my condition tomorrow. But definitely, Daniel, I will get to your writing in a future writer's lab. I promise. Because you are now a member. All right. So yeah, I'll finish up in the next couple minutes. Anybody have any questions or comments? Let me know. So Michelle, thank you. Win, thank you. Sharif Matara, hello, thank you. Eunice Taleb, HH. What's HH? Holy heck. Lewis, great. Thank you, teacher. Layla, thank you so much for fixing my stupid... There is no stupid writing. No, Layla. The only thing stupid is the word stupid. Titua. How would I say that? Titua. Thank you. Frishta. Well done. Well, I did my best. I'm not the greatest teacher. Lali, live lesson tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know yet. Syed Hussein, thank you. Pretty awesome. And we're still voting on Teddy's name. And I'll put the... I guess next Sunday I'll tell his name. Let's put the... Let's see. Put the link. Can I share a link? I can't share a link. Well, I'll put the link. You guys can go vote. I don't know if that link... You can go vote about Teddy's name there. Right now, 52% Little Robin, 20% Kiki, Hug Me, Snuggles, Hoodie. Hoodie was because Robin Hood. Hoodie. Teddy, which one do you like? Oh, he likes Teddy. But no, we're going to change your name. He doesn't want to change his name. We're going to change your name. I don't care your opinion, Teddy. Nobody cares your opinion. Yes, I am crazy. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future. So take care and have a good day.